Park music. How are we all doing?
Good.
So good.
Great.
Congrats, guys, on your 6th studio album. I had a cheeky listen, and I would put down on record that it's my favorite out of your 6 albums.
Thank
Awesome.
you. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, you've gone for an eponymous title for this one, and I'm pretty curious about that decision because obviously that's normally kind of a debut thing when people go for a self-titled album, being like, this is us in a package, this is our brand. But you've obviously, like, more than a decade into your career as a band. Why did you decide to do that now?
I was saying before, we had definitely, I think every band that hasn't had a self-titled record finishes all their records and goes, can we call this one a self-titled album? Like, I think it's always up in the air, and I think we've thought about it for every record we've made, but it just didn't feel right. And I think that this one was probably the latest in the piece that self-titled was suggested, pretty much after we'd already named it as something else and released it.
Yeah, Mostly Sunny. Yeah. And then
Very
announced it was Mostly Sunny as well.
That's right, so it was extremely late in the piece. But yeah, when we suggested it this time, it just felt right. It felt like a no-brainer. It was just like, absolutely, like, it's our first record we're releasing independently, so on our own label. And yeah, I think the music reflects lots of different sides to our band over the years that we've kind of taken ownership of, and yeah, it just feels good.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, so you think it's like kind of the most encapsulating of your journey so far, to use the J word.
And it also, like, I'm personally a hater of, like, you know, people thinking bands get stale as they release more and more music. Like, I'm a believer in, like, the evolution, you can just keep going. So if anything, it's kind of a bit of a rebirth, like, you know, calling this one Ballpark Music. Like, here we are, kind of, you know, putting our front foot forward, and
yeah, the Renaissance. I love that. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about Prawn Records. When did this all launch, your newly founded label, and what's the big vision for Prawn? And why Prawn? Why did you name it Prawn Records?
Oh, the story behind it becoming Prawn is, like, really bad, but possibly worth telling. Right?
It's definitely a long, weird story.
Daniel and Dean, a very long time ago, started saying things were pimp, like, not just like...
It was a quote from the movie Dukes of Hazzard with Johnny Knoxville and what's his name, Sean William Scott, and in it there's a guy that just says, like, oh, this pimp, and he says, like, so it just was a catchy quote thing, and then we realised that saying pimp is just a horrible saying. We then started just changing the word into, like, oh, that's and then one day one of us said that's prawn to mean something was good, and then it stuck. And it's one of those horrible things that stuck, and now it's the name of our label.
Interesting.
Yeah, we've legitimately been saying things are prawn when they're good for, like, a really long time.
That's
why
why
you accidentally use it in, like, day-to-day conversation with someone else, and they're like, is that good? Or you're like, oh, yeah, it's great. It's a really good thing.
And prawns are just a lovely, humble creature like all of us. So, you know, simple.
We celebrate the big prawn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, guys, you should get a little photo under the big prawn. That'd be sick.
We do have one.
I'm late to that party. Yeah, because also
happy to get another.
We'll email it to you.
Please do. I'll set it as my desktop background.
Yes.
No, I'll set it as my Zoom background. I love that. Yeah, because it's also the saying of, like, you know, if someone's a prawn, I've heard, it's like, you know, keep the body, leave the head sort of thing, which is a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But I like those people. I think people with ugly faces, they're still cool.
They're interesting people. I agree. Okay, well, let's go back to the album instead of the animal of the prawn. Tell me about the process for this one, because you made this a little bit differently. It was, like, entirely your creation from beginning through to production. And I heard it was kind of the most grueling album to make. Is that correct?
Yeah. It just,
what's the realities of that?
I don't know what it is, but we always end up, like, going into a recording period at the height of summer. It's always just hot as fuck. And the space that we were in this time it's a, like, dedicated music space. but it's in a tin shed, and the sun would just beat down on the roof. It had an air conditioner that would turn into a water feature, and it would just ice up and then spit out water, and it did nothing to cool the room down. And then when you've got to turn the air conditioning off as well to get some of the recording done.
Yeah.
So it was just so disgusting. There was no reprieve from that. And then the space is surrounded by other musicians as well. So
and a mechanic.
And there's a mechanic next door. So we'd get there early in the morning and have a few hours of recording that was pretty clear while it was still cool, but nearly the same time every day, 4 or 5 drummers would rock up at the same time, right as we were getting to, really involved in the recording that we were doing. And we called it Drumageddon, same time every day. And it would just completely spoil the momentum that we had, add that to the heat. And it was just, it just was really unpleasant. There were so many good moments that were just constantly interrupted by this fucking chaos that was happening.
God damn.
It's made me...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, it's made me laugh realising that the one record we've recorded during winter we called Good Mood.
And it was such a good mood.
I was going to say something. So yeah, it's almost like quite literally the most blood, sweat and tears you've put into a record then.
Yeah.
A lot of sweat.
I
so
reckon
much.
The biggest trough for me, the whole thing, was when I got a banana smoothie from the cafe around the corner. It was like $11. And it came in a little takeaway cup, and I finished it in like 2 minutes. And that's when I was just thinking, this is bullshit. This whole thing is just a hoax. I was thinking, I'll just get a little bundle of joy, in my day, a little banana smoothie, and it just sucked. And then we went away for Christmas, and we came back, and the vibe was high, and then we finished it off.
Yeah, you need a little break. It's almost like, in summer when you just want a cold drink, and at music festivals, there was this one stage where they were selling like watermelon slices, and they were like $12 for a single slice because they knew people would pay for it, because you're like, I just want this little sweet piece of happiness, and I'm so pumped.
Exactly.
Does your head in.
What a rot.
Yeah, what a rot. Well, speaking of good times ahead then, you've got a residency at the Trip In, which is huge. How many dates has it ended up, how many shows has it ended up?
13 shows.
Jeez, that's insane. That's gonna be awesome. You must be pumped.
So good.
We've had to start working out to get back to be match fit, because we are not match fit.
Yeah, is it actually very physically demanding? Do you find that you sometimes feel like when you get back into touring, you're like, oh my god?
Yeah, pretty much like every single show. I feel like we get home after every show and then just be like, my body.
It's a weird ask on the body. Hey, it's not really comparable to any exercise.
It is a strange thing.
Guitar players all get terrible shoulders from after not doing it for so long, as standing with this heavy object slung across your shoulders for ages. Daniel and Paul got to squirm on a stool for a couple of hours each.
I do nothing.
Paul's fine. He doesn't. Paul's actually probably the one who does the most exercise outside of times.
True. Yeah.
You definitely put on weight during shows. It's like the
amount of beer that goes in.
Beer keeps going in, but nothing's coming out.
Can confirm. Yeah.
Hey, life's about balance, am I right?
Absolutely.
In saying that, one time at Groove and the Moo once, Paul literally ate his dinner during our set. It was on the keyboard, and he's just, I don't know, would you have nachos or something?
It was definitely
you had
vegetables.
Steak. Yeah, you had a steak and veggies one time. You had a steak knife and everything. Yeah.
Really tasty.
There was a baked potato, and you had it on you held it up on your fork to me, like, ha ha ha, look at me. Well,
look at me, I can eat.
That is some big rock star energy just there.
Be crazy.
Biggest rock star in the band.
Yeah. It gets so wild over at Ballpark.
Going off. You should see how far you can stretch that, what sort of banquet you can bring out onto your keys and get away with.
Oh my god.
Entree, main.
Paul, can you eat
put a
your
lazy
dinner?
Susan on your right.
Can you eat your dinner during these shows, Paul?
I can, absolutely.
That'd be lovely.
Yeah.
I go with a sushi train running around like your
The stage.
That'd be so cute.
That is actually such a good idea. That's a great idea. And then they're all in their own little containers, so it's kind of like COVID safe, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. You do have memorabilia all around the Trifid though. That's pretty exciting. What's your most excited piece to dig up for the decking out?
Well, we've actually still got to kind of sort through all that shit. We basically have done all our tours over the years, and we finished the tour, and all the props and banners just kind of get shoved in a box and put in the corner of our studio, and we literally not opened any of those boxes. So maybe we're just going to find a whole bunch of silverfish, and it'll be
Good.
no.
You're like,
just
we've told
mock
everyone
it
about
and
this.
Can't use it.
I do.
I'm
have
excited about the. Oh yeah, you go, Sam.
I was just gonna say I've still got the pudding head.
Yeah.
What do you call that thing?
Helmet mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, costume headpiece
Costume head.
at my house. It's my daughter loves it actually.
Disgusting.
Have we all still got pieces of the guitar that we smashed in the iFly clip? I think I've got some, so that's my contribution to the clip.
Really? I did not know you had that.
I didn't either. Get that framed and we'll chuck it up on the wall, Dino.
Done.
It could be like, you know that scene from Monsters Inc. when they like repiece the door back together that's been shredded to get Boo back, and they have that one portal. That'd be
Oh
good.
yeah.
So satisfying when that little piece goes in on the light. Ding.
I'm intrigued by your ballpark music signature cocktail. What's in that?
Oh, what did we ended up on? You go.
I think it's essentially
bourbon mint and something.
it's essentially a
Prosecco.
mint julep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mint is kind of a like divisive one. Like I feel like you can like it's not exactly like a big crowd pleaser. You've gone a little bit of a bit of an edge with that.
Oh,
So
I love
None of
it.
us have
It's a
actually
bit of a gamble,
tasted
but
it
I
yet.
like it. I'm
That
into
suits
mint.
ballpark perfectly. Like,
Yeah.
not a big
That's
crowd
up to a T.
pleaser, but
Yeah.
Are you serious? You guys have been like headlining. What are you on about?
I'm just playing.
It's the Renaissance.
None of us
baby,
have
going
tasted it yet, though.
No.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if like they make it at the venue, taste it, and then be like, we're not doing this. And then just like they'll just come up with their own easy BPM cocktail and be like, yeah, well, it's a mystery. We don't even know what's in it.
Yeah, BPM. What else could? Yeah, bourbon,
Beer, Malibu,
pineapple,
There you go.
Malibu.
Beer,
yeah,
beer, pineapple, and Malibu.
Do
Milk.
Bacardi as well.
Bacardi, milk, and pineapple.
Oh,
Yeah, just your own take on a pina colada. I like it. That's pretty good.
Pineapple Malibu would have been great, actually.
It can be
That's
coconut
a good
milk.
one.
You don't have to say what kind of M it is. Coconut, pineapple, and Malibu.
Look, you're already
I've
on
got-
beach.
I've got one right here.
Oh, I love that. All right, before I let you guys go, Sam, I want to check in on your New Year's resolution of using single-use coffee cups. How's that going?
Oh,
Oh,
what a fucking joke. Oh.
What do you mean? You've been at home for half the year. Surely that's all right.
I can't believe that I was like, I'm just going to pick one New Year's resolution, and I'm actually going to stick to it. And I've like everyone else, seen all the info, thought time to get serious with the Keep Cup. Neck minute, COVID, not even allowed to fucking use a Keep Cup. And hell no am I going without coffee, so I've probably thrown more bloody coffee cups into the ground than the last 10 years combined this year.
oh.
yeah. It's a shame.
It's a shame. What about you guys? What did everyone else have on their resolution list that's absolutely failed?
Oh, I don't think I made one, so maybe I'm winning.
Yeah, whatever it was, it failed.
Yeah, whatever it was, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Okay, Ballpark Music, thank you so much for chatting with me, guys, and best of luck with your run of dates. I'm so jealous I can't be there. And congrats on the new album. It's
Thank
awesome,
you.
and I'm
Thanks,
so
Tate.
glad I
Thank
can
you.
listen to it.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.